Okay. Okay, so I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I just can't properly encapsulate how hyped I am for next episode. I mean, this episode was the build-up. This episode was like the hype, man. It's like, are you guys ready? Are you fucking ready for this? Look, I just got finished watching the preview of next episode, okay? And it was just insanity. It was just like little, 1 second clips, sometimes not even a full second long, of just characters, just ki blasts flying everywhere, energy shields, transformations, people slamming into each other. And I'm sitting there watching the preview, and I'm just like, this is fucking incredible. And then this one scene shows up with Zeno that I will show for you now that just completely encapsulates everything that is going to be awesome about this. Boom! Yeah, this is going to be every single goddamn one of us this time next Saturday, kids. So, I'm pumped for this. I'm getting freaking snacks, and I'm parking myself in front of my freaking computer, and then next Saturday, I'm just going to be refreshing out the ass until it finally just comes up, and I'm like, alright, here we go, kids! Show's starting! Okay, but before we get into this, we have to talk about this episode, Dragon Ball Super episode 97, I think we're up to already. Okay, so this is, like I said, the setup. It's really cool because we get to see some Gods of Destruction actually going a little bit all out in this episode. That's what we start off with. We start off with the Grand Priest revealing the tournament grounds to all of the Gods of Destruction and the Supreme Kais and the angels from the universes that are exempt from the Tournament of Power. So, of course, we have Universe 1 and 12, and then Universe 5 and 8. So the Gods of Destruction are all there. We have the Fox dude that I'm just going to call Kurama, because how could you not? We have Ewin, who is the God of Destruction from Universe 1, who looks like if, Mr. Popo doused himself in, like, hair gel, like hair growth formula. We have a Rock, I think his name is, who is like the fish kind of looking dude from Universe 5. And then we have Gene, who is also the fish-looking dude from Universe 12. So they all show up, and they're looking at the tournament grounds, and they're saying, oh, man, this is not really that extravagant. And they're like, well, it doesn't have to be super extravagant for this battle. This is a tournament of power, after all, so it doesn't have to be all decorative and all that stuff. And then one of them brings up, like, well, I don't even know if a tournament of this, tournament grounds are even going to handle the battle, it's going to be a pretty intense melee going on here, to which the Grand Priest shows up and basically just like, oh no, bitch, this thing is built out of 100% Kachin. If you remember correctly from the Boo saga, the kind of metal that the Supreme Kai stated that was like the hardest metal, the hardest material in Universe 7 was Kachin, which is like, I think it's the Japanese onomatopoeia for like whenever you hit like metal, it's like kakin, it's like kachin, like that's where it got the name from. But this is even stronger than that. That's this kachin. This could be like a metal or a material that's not even found in the physical world for all we know. This is just something that the Grand Priest came up with. But this is what this tournament, this grounds are constructed out of, right? This stadium. So he's like, basically, go ahead, try it out, go on, just see how awesome it is. And so we have Ewin, we have Kurama, and then we have a Rock that show up, and they're like, they do a 3-way match here to kind of like, prove how, not only the durability of the stadium, but I can assume they also want to kind of like, they're itching for a fight too. They state like, oh, we're gonna prove the superiority of our universes to Zeno. Zeno is up there in like this little antechamber, so let's go and let's show it off. You might be thinking, wait a second, Matt, there are only 3 Gods of Destruction that are fighting. Isn't there a 4th one there? Yeah, the God of Destruction from Universe 12, Gene. And he's just kind of staying back, and one of the Supreme Kais bring it up, like, aren't you gonna fight Gene? And Gene's like, no, I know what's gonna happen. So all 3 Gods of Destruction just go at it, like right away. Like, they immediately just zip around the freaking stadium. Fight does not last long, but it is certainly pretty cool. We get to see some awesome displays of animation. There's even this really cool scene. I did not have this queued up. I had so many images I had to queue up for this, but there's this one scene with fucking God of Destruction from Universe 8 pulls out a fucking energy sword. So that's freaking beast, yo. And they just start fighting, and they eventually all, they start wrecking the stadium grounds, like, pretty bad. Like, that giant pillar that's sticking up out of it, they slam into that thing. The entire stadium's getting wrecked, and I'm just sitting there like, we just spent, like, the end of every episode for the past dozen episodes has been focused on this tournament ground being, you know, like, gathered together and being, like, all fit into places like freaking Tetris blocks, you know? And, it's getting wrecked here, so I'm like, what the hell? So they all launch these super mega awesome uber attacks at the end of it, and like energy slice attack, rapid fire like sperm attack or whatever, and it all just clashes together in a massive crater. And the Grand Priest is like, all right, I think that's enough. And they're like, well, you certainly proved me wrong, you know, you certainly showed me where there's certain areas that need improvement. Okay, you guys, you fix up your mess. I'm gonna go open the gates for the tournament here. And all the Gods of Destruction are like, wait, we have to fix all this? And it's like, yeah, later. And so then you get, like, Jiren in the sidelines, like, smiling, like, yep, I knew that was gonna happen. So that's pretty cool, though, to even prove that even this really hard substance, you know, this is the substance that's even harder than Kachin, and Kachin was the stuff that was breaking, you know, that broke the Z sword, and that's how the Elder Kai came out, remember? It's like, this stuff is like an order of magnitude more durable than that, and the Gods of Destruction, I mean, it was basically like any ordinary tournament grounds that we've seen busted up, you know, throughout the story, you know, it didn't seem anything to them, so that's giving us an idea there, and also seeing some Gods of Destruction in action, which we don't get to see a full-scale battle with them all that often. But then again, keep in mind, they did mention that they were going to play by the rules of the Tournament of Powers, so perhaps that means they weren't actually trying to go all out, trying to kill each other, because I would say that, yeah, Gods of Destruction do have the potential to kill other Gods of Destruction, so it was pretty cool to start the episode off like that. Get your blood pumping, you know what I mean? So, we have the Universe 7 team gathering together. I mean, there's a little bit of a scuffle with Frieza. There's some pretty funny scenes with Vegeta, though, where Vegeta's like, you know, like, Whis has to take everybody off to the tournament ground, so they all have to hold hands and sing Kumbaya. And Vegeta's like, I have to hold hands like it's some friendship circle with Frieza? And Beerus is not having it, man. Beerus is just like, this is the universe we're talking about here. I don't give a shit about your Saiyan pride. I don't give a shit that you don't like to fight 2-on-1. I don't give a shit right now. You guys are gonna play nice. Now you grab hands with your worst enemy that destroyed your planet and killed your father. We are going to the tournament right now. Right down, god damn it. So, it's pretty funny with Beerus in this episode. He's acting like a doting parent. He really like, kids, I will turn this car around and nobody's going to have any pizza, you know? So, eventually they all get in the circle and they all warp off to the tournament site. There's gonna be teamwork problems immediately. Like, that's not even a question. Like, it's not gonna work. It's not. Any plan that Gohan or Shin could have concocted here is just gonna fall apart at the seams. That might be part of the Grand Priest's plan, though, is like, let's not give him enough time to plan anything substantial. Let's just have it turn into a battle royale, absolute wreck your shit up melee, you know? So, a funny scene is when they're leaving, the only people left at Bulma's place are Bulma, Oolong, Puar, and Yamcha. So I'm like, that's kind of awkward. You have Yamcha and Bulma together as like wishing everybody off, and like they're the hopes of our universe. And then they warp away, and I imagine Yamcha's just having this awkward moment with Bulma, like, so, Bulma, do you want me to come in and have some dinner? Shut the fuck up, Yamcha. Go home. I'm tired. So they appear at the tournament site, and this is the big event of the episode. We get some reunions. We get the reunion with Kaba, introducing Caulifla and Kale to Goku and Vegeta. We have Goku spotting hits. We have even a scene with Champa, kind of like, you know, like to Universe 7, you know, Champa's, you know, Beerus's brother, and they're all like that rivalry and everything going on there. But the big one is Goku noticing the arrival of Universe 11's team, the Pride Troopers. As soon as they arrive on the scene, everybody in Universe 7, like, their heads turn. They're like the fucking rock stars entering the fucking stadium, you know? It's just like the music cues up, and it's like, oh, I could sense the energy before they're even here. These guys might be a little bit overkill for us. So they show up. Jiren's there. Jiren does not say a word. Jiren is quiet. He is reserved. Just standing there next to everybody. Goku, of course, being Goku, walks up to Toppo. He's like, hey, Toppo, how you doing? He's like, Son Goku, you are here. And like, blah, blah, blah. We will fight in the ring. And Goku's like, I was planning on finishing a fight with you anyway. It's going to be awesome. He turns his shoulder. He looks over at Jiren. Jiren has his back to Goku. Goku looks over. He notices, like, just the fucking just badassery just emanating off of this dude. Goku goes to introduce himself to Jiren, like, hey, you must be... Jiren appears behind Goku, looks him dead in the eyes, and just tells him, get lost. And Goku's just like, oh shit. Like, he just... Keep in mind, Goku is a guy that can fucking teleport. As in just point A, point B, pop, pop. There's no intersection here. There's no zipping. He can teleport. And he was taken off cuff by Jiren. Just like, oh boy. Then there's a scene where you have the Gods of Destruction from Universe 1, 8, and 5 reconstituting the arena. They're basically moving around like blocks and putting them back in the places that they wrecked. And there's a scene where they have to hurry it up because the tournament's about to start in like a few minutes. So they got to hurry up and start everything. So they start sending the blocks around a little bit more haphazard now, a little bit more direct. So they send the blocks toward Jiren and Goku sees them coming. Keep in mind, this whole thing happens within the span of like a second or two. Goku jumps out of the way. The blocks are heading right toward Jiren. Jiren doesn't even fucking flinch. The blocks just pass around Jiren and land right around him. But Goku's like, man, he sensed the exact trajectory of those blocks. Every single inch of them, how they would fly. Every millimeter, he knew how the path was going to go. So, yeah, Jiren has mastered observation hockey, to use a One Piece ability as a base there. But no, he has literally spent probably years upon years sitting on top of a mountain just meditating. He's badass in terms of strength, no two ways about it. He's fast as fuck, he's strong as fuck, but... the thing that's going to be the most dangerous here is his observation, his ability to read the movements of people. You know, you fight against Jiren, you even fucking make one unnecessary movement. You twitch your thumb when you're not supposed to twitch your thumb, and he'll already have you in a freaking arm lock ready to just knock your skull off. Remember, he's a pride trooper. They don't always depend on, like, let's just, like, brutally kill our opponents. They're not trained that way, and they can't kill anybody here. So that's actually going to work to their advantage. They're kind of used to fighting like this a little bit. And Jiren is the most badass of them all. He did not disappoint. He didn't ruin his character or anything like, yo, you thought he was going to be like this, but he turned out to be like this. No, calm, stoic, strong as hell. This is going to be epic. All right? And he's having no bullshit with Goku. He's just like, get lost. Get out of here. We're not trying to be your friends. We're not even doing like the, hey, we're rivals. You know, we're going to see who's strong. We're not even doing any of that shit, Goku. We're here to fucking win. All right? So get out of here. Pretty awesome. We end out the episode with the revelation of all the different teams, the reveal of all the different teams, and I'm going to cycle through them here. So first up, Universe 2. We got Universe 2. Of course, we got the girl, I forget her name, who can transform into, like, the, you know, fat Sailor Moon thing. We also have a Yardrat, so that's pretty cool. Off to the left there, Goku notices them. I think that's the first time we ever see a species that's indigenous to Universe 7 and 6 appearing in another universe. Obviously, Universe 6 would have the counterparts, but then we have Universe 2, which has a species that was only indigenous to Universe 7 and 6. That's pretty cool that they have those. Which also, you know, I originally thought that, you know, Kale might have been from Universe 11, and a lot of people were telling me, well, no, because they don't have Saiyans in Universe 11. I think this proves right here that species can exist in other universes that are not twin universes. So, if there's Yardratians in Universe 6 and 7, that doesn't mean that that's the only place where there are Yardratians. They're also in Universe 2 as well. Probably also in Universe 11 by that standard. We also have this really hot vampire chick in there, too, with like a plunging neckline, so awesome. We have a few other girls there that kind of look like the same same as the first one. We have this old dude dressed up like a Power Ranger. We have the guy wearing a gem on his head. We have the giant dude that kind of looks like General Rildo from Dragon Ball GT, if you remember that dude. And then 2 shadowy figures in the background there that we don't really know much about. So that'll be Universe 2 there. Next up, we have Universe 3, who is the mechanized division. We have a guy that's holding up an electrical staff. I'm really kind of interested in what he can do. And then we just have a bunch of robots. 5 by my account right now, including the one that we saw that other episode there. I have no idea how this is going to work. And I have no idea how the rules even, stipulate these guys, because they're apparently supposed to not have, modified creatures or like creatures that were completely designed for this tournament. This might just be how life develops in Universe 3, so that's the case there. I didn't take a snapshot of Universe 4 because I don't really give a shit about them, but they do mention that there's only 8 members of Universe 4, not the standard 10, which not only proves, it seems, that they're not so concerned about them getting disqualified, they're more concerned about oh, they think they're so powerful they can only win with 8. I would be the first person to be like, hey, disqualified, they only have 8, so, but TN does mention that he does sense a presence in Universe 4. It's very faint, but they're there. I thought about the possibility of fusion, but even if fusion was allowed, that doesn't account for your last member. So if there's 8 members that you could see, one of them is a fused member, that would only account for then 9 members when they're unfused, not a total of 10. So it probably isn't fusion, it's probably something else going on here. So then we move on to Universe 3. We move on to Universe 6. We have the standard team that we've already seen in the Universe 6 tournament. We, of course, have Kaba, Hit, Frost, Magetta, and Botamo. We also have Kale and Caulifla back there, as well as a red warthog-looking dude in a monk robe. We don't see anybody else there, so that's 8 members they have so far, so there are still 2 members that we have yet to identify yet. Moving on to Universe 9. I didn't think I was going to care for Universe 9, but they actually look fairly badass. We have a guy that looks like Groot if he was purple. We have the Trio de Dangers, so whip-de shit there. Badass BDSM cat girl, bat dude, and a guy that looks like a goat that's wearing armor. I don't know, looks pretty cool, I guess. I mean, they're going to be just decimated, I feel, because they're the weakest universe, but, still, it's alright. It was more cool than I thought they were going to be. Then we have Universe 10. We have Goas's universe. We have the muscle dudes that we saw previously with their robes unhinged. We also see a parrot dude and a butterfly chick who are able to fly despite the rules of the tournament because they are naturally born with the wings that enable flight, so they're going to have an advantage right off the bat. We also have like a Hindu, Gandhi-looking guy, and of course the stereotypical I'm the pretty boy with the flower in my mouth. Ooh, I'm so beautiful, which equals strength. So, that guy was going to show up at one point. Why does that guy always show up in anime? I don't care for that character, but whatever. And then finally, of course, we have it ending out with Universe 11, the Pride Troopers. We see Topo, as well as the rabbit dude and the general, but we also see a girl, we see a little dinosaur dude, we see a little lizard guy off to the right, and we see a guy that we kind of really can't see off to the left with a mustache. So, I think, of course, the Pride Troopers are only going to be concerned with, Jiren, Topo, and the general, and maybe the rabbit dude. I forget his name. His name escapes me at the moment. But I'm really pumped. This was a huge setup. Especially the scene when all the universes were being shown and the really epic music was playing in the background. Really good there. From what we can see from the preview of next episode, it's just going to be a fucking melee. There's just going to be ki blasts thrown around everywhere. Goku says in the preview that somebody's trying to take him down with him. So I could see a lot of universe, because they're so pissed at Goku because he's the one that got them into this. I could see somebody just grabbing Goku and just pulling him off the side, like sacrifice, just I'm gonna be the martyr for the cause. I'm gonna be the one to take him out. Let's do it. And they don't expressly say that whoever falls in the void is killed immediately or just vanishes from existence, but you really don't want to fall off that thing because it is an empty void here, and you can't fly. That was made clear in the episode. But anyway, I'm pumped. I'm pumped beyond belief for next episode. I cannot wait for that moment. I think that expression Zeno is given right there is absolutely telling of the shit that's going to go down. The only thing I'm worried about is that there's just going to be so much shit going on at once that we're not going to be able to really take it all in. You know, usually most battles that we have in tournaments in Dragon Ball, they're always like 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 or some shit like that. This is a melee here. Granted, they have a really big fighting stage here, but just from the animations department alone, whatever fight you're going to focus on, let's say you're going to fight on Vegeta's fights against the Teletubby chick from Universe 2. You're going to have them fighting. You're going to have other people in the background constantly fighting. That just seems like it's going to be a big drain on the animators, and I really hope it comes through, right? I hope it's not like, you know, Vegeta and Teletubby Girl are fighting in the foreground. Meanwhile, it looks like a bunch of fucking stick figures that my 6-year-old cousin drew in the background, you know? I really hope it's some good animation all around here. And we even see, like, you know, Master Roshi breaking out a Kamehameha next episode, and 17 whipping up the energy barrier and all that shit. So I hope Goku goes out, you know, full power right from the start. Vegeta as well. I hope they can put their pride on the line to really get this done. This tournament's only going to last like 48 minutes. So, you know, I don't know if they're going to have a problem with timing here or what. How many episodes do you think this actual tournament's going to last? That's a good question for you guys. Just because of how short it is and how many people you have going on here. There are people falling off left and right. Unless they want to do that right off the bat. Unless they do something like, you know, one of the characters from Universe, like, 7, or, like, not Universe 7, because, like, Universe 2 or Universe 11, they just use an ability that just automatically knocks off, like, half the combatants. They could always do that. That seems like a cheap way to do it, but they could always do it. But yeah, how many episodes do you think this is going to last? And how many orgasms do you think you'll have before it's over? My bet, 16. But that's just my personal, you know, betting that I'm putting up to bat here. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope you are pumped for next episode. This will be Tekking, signing out. Fuck it. You know what? I'll do it. Cringy as fuck, but you gotta do it in this situation. Kamehameha! End the recording.